Hey everyone, I'm Felicity and I've just launched my own shop called Felicity.shop, and I'm here today to talk to you about what I've done, why I've done it and how I've done it. Consciously cute is my tagline. I wanted to discuss a little bit about the conscious part today to try and open up to you about my processes and connect me to the store a little bit more, just so you have a little bit more in-depth of understanding about me and what I'm doing. So first things first, I'm going to just sort of get the website up and have it next to me so that you can see what I'm doing. So as we look through the website, you've got shop, blog, about, and we've got some pretty dresses and some nice coats, light jackets, some two-pieces. I really am trying to keep this like trend focused. I want things to be current, but I also want them to be cohesive together, so the products tied together, so that there's not just a random smorgasbord of things. I want them to sort of be, I want to eventually have it so that you know what to expect when you're shopping on Felicity. So hopefully we'll build that up slowly, but it does take ages to list stuff, like wow. But hopefully I'll be getting quicker as we go. The main thing I wanted to talk about is at the bottom, which you might not have seen, there's a burger icon. They call it a burger because it's 3 lines. It doesn't really look like a burger, but that's what they call it. So if you click on that, there's postage information, transparency promise, return or mend guide, sizing and fit advice, and contact. The main things I wanted to talk about was transparency promise and the sizing and fit advice. I think sizing and fit is really important. And if you get it wrong, it's kind of the main reason, well I know it's the main reason why women throw clothes away. And women do throw a lot of clothes away each year. So getting your sizing right is really important. Giving yourself enough room to breathe, making sure it's comfortable. Like comfort is such a big thing. Like I don't know if it's just my age, I'm getting older, I'm like 29, turning 30, but I'm just all about being comfortable. Like this is so stretchy, like, because your body changes throughout the month, and there's things that I don't like in my wardrobe, having things that I think, well, that's going to make me feel uncomfortable, and it goes to the back of the wardrobe, and only when I'm having like a skinny day or whatever I'll want to wear it, and I don't want that anymore, because those are the clothes that you end up throwing away. So I've put a really, if I click on it, I've put a really detailed sizing and fit advice. The clothing sizes in vintage vary so much. Obviously different brands vary, different eras will vary what the measurements were for a size 10. Marilyn Monroe was apparently a size 16, but if you look at her, she's tiny, and anything that she would have worn would probably be a size 10 now, or an 8. So the sizes have totally shifted as time has gone on. It's called vanity sizing, so basically brands will change the sizing but make the number sound smaller so that you feel like you're smaller than you are, which works for a while, but it's like inflation. It just keeps going and going and going, and eventually you don't even know what size you are, especially as brands vary so much. Like you could walk into H&M, buy a pair of trousers and they would fit you, and you could walk into Topshop, they'd be too big, like vice versa. You just don't really know. So as a solution to that, on my site I've put in brackets at the end of the title, small, medium or large, and eventually XL. Those are the sizes that I'll be working with, and extra small as well. But yeah, the reason why I've done that is because I don't want you to dismiss something because it says UK 10 or it says UK 12, because actually if we go into the sizing, I'm going to recommend the sizing I think it will fit best based off me being a size 8 and a 5'1". And I've also, if you look into the product, then there's a measurements tab, and the measurements tab will give you specific measurements that we've laid the garment flat and we've measured with a measuring tape, so you can literally get familiar with that. And getting familiar with your measurements is really important, and I think that's something that you'll come to learn the more you shop vintage and thrift. You'll know what size your waist is, you'll know what size your hips are, you'll know roughly what bracket you sit in with the actual centimetres, rather than thinking, oh, usually I'm a small. Like you can't trust that really, especially with second hand. So you have to sort of really get familiar with the measurements. Or you could, if you're not someone who can be bothered to do that, I know that I've shopped so much and I'll just be like, I'll just guess because I can't be bothered to get the measuring tape out. I've also done a visual guide because I'm a size 8 to 10, and I've also done just a sentence where I'm saying on the description, I think this is best for a size 10 to 12 or an 8 to 10 or a small size 8 or whatever. So that's sizing. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the transparency promise. I've used the word transparency and not the word sustainability because I feel like the word sustainability is kind of loaded at the moment. I feel like there's a bit of a confusion as to what it actually means, and I feel like brands maybe use the word without much consideration behind how much of it they are. So you could say you're a sustainable brand, but you're still using brand new packaging, and just because you've done one element of something that is sustainable within the company, they're branding themselves sustainable, and I didn't want to be lumped in with that. I feel like it's a bit of a buzzword, and maybe there's like certain connotations that get applied to it. I didn't want that for the shop. So what I've done instead is to just pledge to be as transparent as possible, and I think you can't really go wrong with that, because what you're literally saying is I'm going to be honest, and you're going to be open with communicating what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it. I think that's one of the main points of difference. I really wanted to just go from the beginning just as open as possible. I think with any shop and any brand where you're making money from a consumer buying something from you, there's an element of resistance when you pay for it. I don't know if it's just me, but you sort of wonder, well, why is this £85 and where is this money going? And you kind of feel like, okay, that's just part of living in like a capitalist like society, and you don't really think too deep into it. But I do think that's something that is going to change and should change. It shouldn't really be all about just the profit you're making. You should be making enough profit to keep going and to live, and really any more than that, I don't really see like a need for just this huge aimless markup. So I've tried to be really honest with that. There's a section on the website that says, where is my money going? So I've worked out, if I get my RRP for each 32 pieces that are on the website and divide that amongst the amount of product, is £20 per product as average profit. That's minus my costs, which I've paid to eBay, and that's literally it. I haven't even included packaging costs in that. So 20% of that will go towards tax, so that needs to be put aside, which I've never been good at, but it does need to be done. 50% of the profit, so £10 of that, would go to me, which is compensation for my time, looking for the product, sourcing the product, photographing the product, styling the product, listing it, running the Instagram, running the shop. 25% would go back into the business for buying more product or growing the business in some way, basically buying more product. And the last 5% is to charity. So of £20 per product, £1 of that would be the 5%, and that would go to charity. I really wanted to include charity in this. I was trying to think of a way to do it where it wasn't feeling like, you know how some brands do a charity t-shirt and usually their t-shirts are £20, and this one they say, oh, 10% goes to charity, and then they just make it £35, and you're like, well, I could literally just give that £15 to charity and you could just not do the t-shirt. That's kind of what I wanted to avoid. So I think keeping a small percentage is important, because I didn't want to be like grabbing extra money for the charity donation, but I still wanted to give something from each sale, and I eventually will have I'll get people who are interested to have a say in that. I wanted originally to have, when you add to cart, you choose the charity from a drop down, but that's quite complex coding and I haven't got that far. But what I will do is at the end of each month, I'll let you know the amount, and I'll put it in my email, and I'll tell you which charity I'll be donating to, and a little bit about the charity so you can get familiar with it too. So the next thing I wanted to discuss was packaging. I wanted to talk about why I've chosen it and what I've chosen. So packaging was kind of easy for me because I basically source everything off eBay at the moment because it's lockdown, which is lucky that we still get post. So I've got a big box here which is full of mailer bags. So there's so many in here. It's actually quite crazy the amount. But basically this is what your product will be being sent to you in. There's all kinds of sizes, loads of random bits of tissue paper, like so many. So yeah, that's one way of it being sustainable for me, because I could have bought compostable bags, but actually compostable bags still need a really specific set of conditions in order for them to biodegrade, and it still takes a lot of effort, it still takes a long time, and it still causes emissions. So you know, a biodegradable delivery bag, it's not a cold, hard and fast answer to all our sustainability problems. It really isn't. I think for now reusing is the most sustainable way. I hate using that word. It's the most eco-friendly way to package the products from my point of view. obviously I'm open to all ideas, and I'm open to being corrected on that, but yeah, this is just what I've chosen to do and I'm really happy with it. Why would I throw them away? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So to protect the garment, because sometimes those mailer bags come and they have got a little rip in them, I've wanted to wrap it in tissue paper. So I've picked this one. There's all kinds of different like patterns that I can get, again sourcing from eBay. So there probably is an option for me to use recycled paper, which I need to look into. I'm going to be honest, like I haven't looked into it. I literally just bought this, but it's not completely un-eco-friendly because it's pretty cute, but I wanted people to be able to reuse it. So if you receive this and your garment's been folded nicely in it, I won't be using sellotape. All I'm using is some twine, which is natural, which is not plastic, so we're not adding in any extra plastics into the world. And it's purple, my favourite colour. So you can take the paper off, fold it up somewhere, put it in a box like mine, and just leave it there until you have a friend's birthday and you've forgotten to wrap something, then it's literally the perfect thing. I will be looking into recycled versions of this, but I do still want it to be cute, so that's the sacrifice I've made on that. So please reuse them. What else? So I wanted to get some sort of like branded business card out there or some sort of flyer, but I didn't want to approach all these printing brands to just like print excess amounts of business cards and then I never use them, because that's what happened before. I've run a business before and I got loads of business cards. I was so excited to have my logo on it, and then I think I've still got like 2 boxes of them in the attic and I threw loads away because I just never circulated them. And the quantities that they are offering, they offer quite high quantities, so you get tempted to buy more, and I just thought, what's the need? So this is my favourite thing ever. I had a stamp made. It's so cute. It's made with wood, not plastic. This is plastic, but it's refillable. So I think you can buy ink and pour it on. So it's purple, obviously. It's so cute. I'm gonna do one now, show you. Let me find the postcard I like. Look how cute that is. I love it so much. And these are my cat postcards, my pride and joy. When I got them in the post, I was absolutely buzzing. So these are like vintage postcards with just pictures of cats on. They're blank, so I can write my special note to you when you buy something on them. They're so adorable, like love them. I love them so much, and I would encourage you to frame them or put them up on your mood board or like whatever, like use it, like stick it up somewhere, have it in your room. If you don't like cats, I'm really sorry, but they're the best. Yeah, so that's basically my way of being sustainable and getting my branding out there, rather than just printing more and more paper. So my next set of postcards, if I sell that many, I've got 40 postcards. I'm hoping to sell 40 things eventually. I'm going to be maybe doing flowers or something next. Been watching a few things on eBay. Anyway, enough about eBay, I'm obsessed. Moving on. Next for me to talk about is my collection of patterns that I'm building up slowly. I've got 3 here now. For those of you who aren't familiar with patterns, I mean, I'm not especially, I'm new to it. These are like vintage patterns that I've got from eBay. So like this one's from the 90s. I think it has even a year on it. This one, I think I typed in 2001 and this came up. Skirt and matching top, which is my new favourite thing at the moment. But yeah, they look like this. They're pretty complicated looking, but it basically allows me to make something in a variety of sizes out of my own fabrics and trims. Fabrics and trims, I have a little basket here full of little scraps and stuff, but recently I've just bought this fabric. This is like used offcuts off eBay. It's a viscose. The difference is that I don't know really what I'm getting from eBay, so it's kind of like just take a punt and then see what it feels like, see what it looks like, and then try and make something that fits with it. So that's what I'll be doing in the future. And really, I just wanted to include this part in because Felicity is a second-hand pre-loved website, but ultimately I want to make my own dresses. I want to make dresses that aren't impacting the environment, that are trend-led, that are the most desirable thing that people want at the moment, where you don't have to hunt so hard to find it. It can be made to order, or like something slower. I just want to be able to get the things in my head out and manufacture, but without causing a horrible imprint on the environment. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. I know I want to use dead stock and vintage fabrics. The only issue with it is that sourcing these things, you kind of need to be connected already with the fabric world, with the manufacturing world, with all those kinds of like little things that make up the industry, and I'm obviously not at the minute. I mean, I was a photographer, and in that sense I have fashion experience, but it's completely different to the buying or the designing or the manufacture of it. So that's something I'm still learning, and I am hoping to go back to college once the lockdown is lifted, and pick up where I left off, pattern making. So yeah, that's essentially where I want to go with it, and I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to start playing with the sewing machine. I'm going to show you around my little desk space where I'm working from at the minute. I'm at my in-laws' house, and they've been so generous and kind, and I've been given a sewing machine, I've been given scraps of fabric, I've been given tutoring from my mother-in-law, Debbie. So yeah, I'm in a really good spot for this, so it's really good. But yeah, more to come on that. Thanks for listening. So this is my new workspace. It's in my in-laws conservatory. We've got stock here, handbags with cats on, lots of stock. We've got things that have been shot for the website here. We've got packing materials. We've got some shoes behind here for styling. This is where I keep my shoes for styling. We've got a mirror with me, hey. This door gets to be open in the daytime, which is so nice. There's some things hanging out there that I've hung out there to get some air. Stunning. Oh, it's not zooming in. Hang on, let's try this. Nope, not letting me. Cool. And then got some plants, got a printer, got some speakers, got all my packaging in here, got camera equipment. This is something that I kept from the website, which is really naughty of me, but I really couldn't resist. They were perfectly fitting my size. I've got some bits and bobs and some fabric, more bags, more cats. So cute. I'm going to do a competition with this one, so you can win it. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, this is the new space. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. I'm so happy that I've managed to launch and have people actually buy stuff from me. If you're interested in buying or looking at the website, or even just catching up on the blog, go to Felicity.shop, and then I'm going to try and include some subscribe links somewhere around here to subscribe to my channel and to subscribe to my emails. Thanks so much. I love you all, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon.